Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California's sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Great minds think alike, they say. Alrighty, welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Sorry I started a little late. I was on CPT time today. No, I'm joking. I ran into some traffic I didn't expect. I came from a wedding just now, you know. Y'all know, even though the way I be feeling, I still marry people. I ain't gonna put my insecurities on them. You know, it ain't like that. I wish them all the best of luck, and I'm glad they enjoy it. So I did just come from a wedding today. I had to do one. Y'all know Reverend Quanni, Minister Quanni. I always got to do it. It's real nice. I make some pretty good money for about 20-30 minutes of my time. Today our wedding couple was a little late, so in turn, as you see, it made me a little late, but still I apologize to y'all for that. Tried to be here on time and when I needed to be. I'm just, I'm feeling real good today. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good, looking good, feeling better. So I'm pretty happy about that. Anyway, I'm going to jump right into it, though. Since I'm late, I'm going to get right into everything. As far as my week went, it was great. I'm not going to lie. There were really, honestly, this is the first week I can say there were no downs. All positives, all good notes. Besides me needing to line up, which I'll do when I get home because I come on here. Save money. Fuck that. Let's see. Oh. We finally got everything situated with my son's birthday. It is Justice League themed. So my son was real big on making sure his classmates got invited to his birthday party. So what I did is I went ahead and I created these invitations that I got printed out on that thicker kind of paper. So it'd be great as invitation style. But each invitation separately had the kids' names, invited them, stuff I wanted my dad to do for me, but he wasn't around. But I mean, I can do it for my kids, which it was pretty dope getting it all done. It was a headache at first because getting all the kids' names and then getting the design right, getting the invitation right, and then getting it sent off to the kids. But I know it worked because the parents have started reaching out today, which is great. So I'm happy to hear the parents have been reaching out. We getting everything set, getting the head count. Of course, we got to send out invitations to other people and friends and family, but I'll get there today. I guarantee you when I'm done with the show today. They gave me the night off from work because I got another wedding to do tonight again. And, that one is personal, though. That one isn't from the work area itself. Someone actually went and booked it online. So I'm pretty happy about that. My business is starting to get a little more, starting to boom a little bit. And I'm happy about that, which it's supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do. Other than that, though, yeah, it's been a great week, a wonderful week, nothing but ups, so I'm happy to see that, nothing but positivity. And, let's get everything going. Let's get everything going in. I'm running a little late, so I'm going to go ahead and skip past a few things. But the biggest issue, I'm not going to say issue, it is an issue, but what I want to talk about today is mainly it's just going to be one subject. But it's going to be different parts of this subject that I go through. Mainly is what I'm calling to speak on is emotional intelligence, right? Everyone has their different definition of what emotional intelligence is. People have their own viewpoints and their own opinion-based facts. I always like to say that, opinion-based facts, that they run with, to each his own, whatever the case may be, you do what you want to do. I'm not here to argue about that. But I will give you the definition of what it is here in just a second. The reason I actually chose to talk about this subject today is because there's a lot of discussions going around about emotional intelligence. But mainly, what I don't like about the discussions is they're trying to pit men and women against each other with, who's more emotionally intelligent, who's this, who's that. And I always say things that deal with emotions kind of are a case-by-case scenario, because there are a lot of issues that you have to resolve using logic. You can't use emotion. You have to use logic because that's the best thing going for you. Honestly, all issues should be resolved using logic. However, on a case-by-case scenario, there are some variables that you have to throw into play that may require you to use emotion, right? Because let's put it like this. If they told you that you had to save an entire state, they were going to blow up an entire state, but one person out that state had to die at random, you wouldn't care. You would be like, the logical choice is you sacrifice one life to save the others, right? That's logic speaking for you. But let's say if they said that one person was your child. Now all logic is going out the window, because emotions are going to be there to let you know, like, no, that is my child. I'm not going to sacrifice my child to save everybody else. I'd rather save my child and everybody else can go, right? I feel like in that situation, no parent should be judged for choosing their child over other people that they don't even know. That's just to me. I know logically it's like, save one life, sacrifice one life to save many. Even that random person that we were talking about earlier is somebody's child, but it's not my child. And it may be wrong to say, but, that's an emotional decision I'd make. And I don't feel like anybody would be able to shame me for it. Even if they tried, I'd tell them, oh, well. Because if the foot was on your shoe, you would have walked the same path I did, Anyway, that was just a small little example, but I really want to get into emotional intelligence. I really want to say, like, what is emotional intelligence, and how does it apply to the workplace? The reason why I say the workplace is if you've been listening, the way I talk about friendships, relationships, coworkers. I think it's all a workplace setting. Like, somebody has to put the work in to get the job done. That's how I base it off of. So sometimes I bring that up because I want you all to see, like, hey, sometimes it's more so about a team effort is mainly what I want to get to. Most of the stuff we talk about is about team effort. And of course, on your own, you have to master some of these things, but we'll get there. Emotional intelligence is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understand the emotions of people around you. There are 5 key elements to emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation. There are 5 key elements to emotional intelligence. It's self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill, which we know a lot of people don't really have all or some of these attributes, right? But they all can be learned, is the beautiful thing about it. People with high emotional intelligence can identify how they are feeling, what those feelings mean, and how those emotions impact their behavior and, in turn, other people. It's a little harder to manage the emotions of other people. You can't control how someone else feels or behaves, which is true. You got to remember that. You can't control it. But if you can identify the emotions behind their behavior, you'll have a better understanding of where they are coming from and how to best interact with them. So it's kind of like saying, be prepared to, to parry dealing with people like that, right? When I say parry, I mean be prepared to combat what they have to say with a way that that they can understand as a place of understanding, not a place of defense, right? So, because you've already defended when you parried, but your response to that defense is going to make it seem more of a, hey, like, just try to understand for a second. You know what I mean? So you're not there to throw nobody down or put anybody down, but you're always there to try to make them understand at least, or at least try to get them to understand where you're coming from or what you're trying to say. Because if all you're worried about is getting your point across, but you don't care how you do it, I don't think you'll really have a success doing so. I don't think you'll be successful doing so. I think you'll be stuck between a rock and a hard place, because everybody isn't going to respond to how you want them to respond, because you feel like you have a way to say it. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it. High emotional intelligence overlaps with strong interpersonal skills, especially in the areas of conflict management and communication. Crucial skills in the workplace, and employees who can self-regulate their emotions are often able to avoid making impulsive decisions. They think objectively before they act. Operating with empathy and understanding is a critical part of teamwork. Being able to attribute someone's behavior to an underlying emotion will help you manage relationships and make others feel heard. On an individual level, being aware of your feelings is the first step in not letting those feelings control you. Recognizing how you feel and why will help you sit with those feelings and then move forward in a productive way. So sometimes emotions rise, right? Heat of the moment, whether it's an argument, whether you're excited, happy, got a new job, got a new car. Emotions rise, okay? But you have to learn how to control your emotions so that way when you're expressing them or dealing with people that don't know how, it's not looking like you're trying to throw it in their face. It's more so of I always go back to it. It's like a place of understanding, really. It's more so, hey, look, I'm feeling this way because of this, and this is why I'm feeling this way. This is what you're doing to make me feel this way. If you can sit there and learn your feelings so that way you don't, I keep talking about the positive feelings, and I really got to tie this into negative feelings. You know, when you get angry, upset, you're not getting what you want, you kind of have to learn to understand where your feelings are coming from. You know, are they something deeper than just this one little problem that popped up? Is it something from trauma? Is it something from, past relationships? Is it something from other people's friendships or relationships? You have to be able to determine where it's coming from, how you can work on it, and how you can make it better. But if all you can focus on is the situation itself, you're going to be so riled up, you won't have a chance to really sit down and think it through. Process it, really, in a way. Effective leaders are often very emotionally intelligent. In the workplace, it's important for leaders to be self-aware and able to view things objectively. This translates into understanding your strengths and weaknesses and acting with humility. This has to be balanced with empathy. Employees who feel appreciated and valued at work aren't only happier but more productive. And I know it says at work, but I think that's just with everything. If you are dealing with someone and you can take the time out of your day to show them you understand how they feel, you respect them how they feel, you can give them the opportunity to talk and communicate effectively, just the small things, and appreciate what they do, they're going to want to be around more. They're going to want to improve more, grow more, be a better individual, a better person. Because now they're dealing with somebody else on the other end that are accepting the fact that they are not perfect and they have flaws, but they're willing to work through them, right? Rather than dealing with someone that's always trying to get you to be this person, you're not there yet, and they think it's supposed to happen overnight. They don't want to get pushed around by somebody that won't even help them grow. That's why I say it's the difference between a leader and... people always say I say it in a weird way, but when it comes to jobs, it's a difference between a leader and a supervisor. Because you can be an actual representative, a regular clerk, cashier, whatever the case may be, and you can have more leadership skills than your actual supervisor or manager. You know why? Because some leaders and supervisors, they just want to point and tell you what to do. That's it. I don't think that's great leadership to me. I think great leadership is me rolling my pants up and getting in the dirt with you, right? Me rolling my sleeves up and going out there and bringing people up with you, helping out, getting myself dirty to show you I can do everything I ask you to do. Because that's leadership. I'm just here to help you grow. Listen, let me help you do it this way because it might be a little quicker for you. Or, hey, this way because it might be more effective when it comes to dealing with these different customers or different, whatever the case may fucking be, loads or goddamn meat department, whatever the case may be. Let me help you become a better person at that position. That's what I'm here for. That's what great leadership is. But some people think they can just come in and point the finger and tell you what to do, and you don't have to worry about that. My thing about it is when you're doing stuff like that, people feel more inclined to leave and go away because they feel like, well, you're just telling me what to do. You don't really appreciate it as long as I get it done. You don't care who gets it done for you as long as it gets done, right? Or what they went through to get it done. More so it puts them in a state of mind of, I don't want to be here and I'm uncomfortable. And because they can't express that, because they're scared of maybe I'll lose hours, maybe I'll get written up, maybe I'll be treated a different way in a department now. Now those emotions are blocking them from just expressing the fact that they feel like, hey, things can be a little better here. And it's simple as that. Things can be a little better here. In relationships, you have one person who is, typically they say it's the man that's going to be leading, right? Typically. And the man is the one that's why I keep telling y'all dudes, like every time y'all say y'all play tit for tat with the women because y'all trying to show them and get even, it's like we are not here to play tit for tat. We're here to lead by example. So men in a relationship, you're supposed to be able to lead by example. So when things go wrong, you're supposed to be the one to say, hey, you know what? This is how we can grow from it. This is how we can learn from it. Not let me get back at you. Not let me go ahead and try to get even. Not let me play tit for tat. Not let me do the things I shouldn't be doing instead of leading as a man. Right? Some are doing that, and it's just not fair. It's not right because, again, we are men. We are here to lead by example. We're not here to play tit for tat. But some of y'all don't get that. But you will. You will. A few things you can do, and then I'll go over to the next little article I wanted to read. You can try to slow down your reactions to emotions. Next time you feel angry, try to sit with it before lashing out. Like, why are you angry? Did somebody upset you? Did you think it was the emotion underneath their behavior? Whatever the case it may have been, just stop and think what was going on. Think about your strengths and weaknesses. No one is good at everything, and that's okay. Know yourself and when to ask for or offer help. You have to know when to do that. And that's another thing is, man, y'all got to learn to understand sometimes it's okay to ask for help. I know we prideful as fuck. I know we hella prideful, but sometimes you got to put that pride aside and get the bigger picture or get the picture painted. Simple as that. Also, let's see here. Put in the effort to understand what people are communicating non-verbally. If you ask someone to help you on a project and they agree, but sound hesitant, recognize that they may feel overwhelmed or confused, or they come from a different background. And understanding that your own, it's important to validate and address that before moving forward. Work on communicating effectively and openly. Make sure your main point is clear, cut out information that isn't relevant to the person you're talking with, and give your full attention when someone else is speaking. That's another thing with it is everyone is so set on trying to prove a point, you're not even taking the time out to try to understand what the other person is feeling or going through. Okay? Again, to me, emotional intelligence, you have to be able to control your emotions, but also be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes to try to understand where they're coming from. That way you have a better reaction to what they're dealing with, they're going through, versus you having your own opinion of what they're dealing and what they're going through. I mean, to each his own, though. Who am I? I'm just a guy. This one now, it's emotional intelligence, how we perceive, evaluate, express, and control emotions. So, again, we already went through what it is. Emotional intelligence, it's the ability to perceive, interpret, demonstrate, control, or evaluate and use emotions to communicate with and relate to others effectively and constructively. This ability to express and control emotions is essential, but so is the ability to understand, interpret, and respond to the emotions of others. Some experts suggest that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ for success in life. And I think that's true, because if you cannot understand where somebody is coming from when they're basically speaking from emotion versus logic, you're going to keep putting yourself in a whirlwind. Because if you steady argue with somebody that's arguing based off of emotion, your logic makes no sense to them. It doesn't mean anything. They don't give a flying fuck at the moment what you are talking about. All that matters to them is the way that they feel and the way that you are making them feel. So you have to learn to bring that back down to a calm state, acknowledge their feelings, acknowledge how they feel and what they're going through, and then you want to try to position where you're coming from. But all of that trying to, off the bat, fuck what they saying or dismiss their feelings, all that's doing is creating a toxic pattern. You're going to go back and forth arguing. It's a cycle. Every time you have an argument now, they're going to feel like they can't talk to you. It's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Somebody has to be the bigger person. Somebody has to be. This one is showing what are the signs of emotional intelligence. And I like this because I thought I was okay with it. But when you read through stuff and you realize that you know more than you thought, it's kind of great. It makes you feel, boost your ego a little bit. It makes you feel real good. Some key signs and examples of emotional intelligence includes an ability to identify and describe what people are feeling, an awareness of personal strengths and limitations. Some of us need to understand that we do have limitations with our strengths. Like, they can only take us so far. That's why sometimes, as much as y'all don't want to hear it, sometimes you have to rely on your weaknesses. I know it's crazy to say that, but you do. Self-confidence and self-acceptance, right? You have to have that. The ability to let go of mistakes. This is the one that if you would have asked me 6 years ago, I would have said I'm not there yet then. About 5-6 years ago. Hell, not even 3 years ago. I'll give it even 3 years ago. when I made a mistake, I could never let it go. I never understood what people meant by letting it go. But it was a mistake. Accidents happen. Nobody's perfect. So I had to learn to sit there and realize that my mistakes were not losses. They were lessons that I learned from, so I'd be better off in the next time around. So I'll be happy about that. Like, hey, I make mistakes, but I learn from them. And I've had to let them go because they made me realize that the more I hold on to those mistakes, I was holding on to nothing. I was holding on to bullshit that was bringing me down for no reason. It literally just pisses you off for no reason. And an ability to accept and embrace change. And that's tough for a lot of us because we're still stuck in that mindset that when we're comfortable, we don't want to move. We don't want to be there. We're in our comfort zone. We don't want to move. But when do we all realize that uncomfortability creates growth? You're never going to be comfortable when you're growing. That's the point of it. You've never done it before. You haven't been there before. So it's going to be uncomfortable until you learn the ins and outs of it. But when you learn the ins and outs, don't get comfortable and just sit there. Move on to the next level. Try to climb that mountain a little more. Take a few more steps. Don't sit in the same place. A strong sense of curiosity, particularly about other people. You have to be interested in other people because then you won't be able to understand them if you're not. You know what I mean? If you want to just take it for face value, then so be it. But just remember, face value isn't everything. It isn't. This is a good one. Feelings of empathy and concern for others, because some of y'all just don't give a fuck. You just don't. It's not in you. It's not there. And hey, by all means, do it what you do, because if it's working for you, it's working for you. Some people are just prone to be assholes. Some people are just prone to be overly sensitive. It is what it is. But these are ways that can help, possibly. If you want to change, if you want to grow, all you have to do is start working on it. That's it. All you have to do is start somewhere. Showing sensitivity to the feelings of other people, and accepting responsibility for mistakes. Like, own it. Accountability. It looks great on anyone that wears it. I swear. If you think accountability doesn't look great on you, look in the mirror again. I swear it does. The ability to manage emotions in difficult situations. And what I mean by that is there can be so many different situations when anger takes over and we lose all sight and control. When irritation takes over, we lose all sight of control. Or frustration takes over, we lose all sight and everything going with it. But what you can do is try to work on that. You can. Because the better you are at learning to learn your triggers. Because I'll tell you right now, if nobody else has ever told you, it is nobody's responsibility. Nobody else on this planet is responsible to walk around your triggers. Because they don't know them. So they're not responsible to walk around them. If you cannot control your reactions to being triggered, that's an issue. You have to work on that. You can't keep letting everybody else control how you react to something that triggers you, because you know your triggers, which means you know what to do to avoid them, what needs to be done to get around them. You know it all. You know it all. But you expect some random strangers to avoid them when they don't know anything? Have fun with that. Have fun with that. And see how that works. See how well that does for you. How emotional intelligence is measured. Now, a number of different assessments have emerged to measure levels of emotional intelligence. Such tests generally fall into one or two types: self-report tests and ability tests. Oh, this one was new. I don't remember reading this one, but we'll go through it anyway. Self-report tests are the most common because they are the easiest to administer and score. On such tests, respondents respond to questions or statements by rating their own behaviors. For example, on a statement such as, I often feel that I understand how others are feeling, a test taker might describe the statement as disagree, somewhat disagree, agree, or strongly agree. Ability tests, on the other hand, involve having people respond to situations and then assessing their skills. Such tests often require people to demonstrate their abilities, which are then rated by a third party. If you are taking an emotional intelligence test administered by a mental health professional, here are two measures that might be used. Oh, okay. All right. One is Myers-Solovey-Caruso Emotional Intelligence Test, MSCEIT. It is an ability-based test that measures the four branches of Mayer and Salvari's L model, or emotional intelligence model, Test takers perform tasks designed to assess their abilities to perceive, identify, understand, and manage emotions, or Emotional and Social Competence Inventory, ESCI. It's based on an older instrument known as the Self-Assessment Questionnaire and involves having people who know the individual offer ratings of that person's abilities in several different emotional competencies. The test is designed to evaluate the social and emotional abilities that help distinguish people as strong leaders. Hey. There is also plenty of more informal online resources, many of them free, to investigate your emotional intelligence. Actually, I'm going to probably skip this one really quick because I want to get to the other one. So, basically, a lot of people presume, I don't want to say assume because you know what they say about assumptions, but a lot of people presume that they have great emotional intelligence. And in all honesty, they have not enough. They rather choose to be selfish than actually grow from this and make it easier and better for their lives. So they kind of don't want to put the work in, for lack of a better word. So I'll give y'all a few tips here before I end it for today. I want to give y'all some tips on how to actually make this a better environment for you, better situation. Now, improving emotional intelligence. So when it comes to happiness and success in life, EQ matters just as much as IQ. Learning how you can boost your emotional intelligence, build stronger relationships, and achieve your goals. Now, emotional intelligence is commonly defined by our 4 attributes. Self-management, so you're able to control impulsive feelings and behaviors, manage your emotions in healthy ways, take initiative, follow through on commitments, and adapt to changing circumstances. Self-awareness, you recognize your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior. You know your strengths and weaknesses and have self-confidence. Social awareness is you have empathy. You can understand the emotions, needs, and concerns of other people. Pick up on emotional cues, feel comfortable socially, and recognize the power dynamics in a group or organization, right? And then you have relationship management. You know how to develop and maintain good relationships, communicate clearly, inspire and influence others, work well in a team, and manage conflict. Now, there's only really one thing that I want to talk about here. A couple of episodes about your physical health and your mental health when it comes to this, because you know how to tie it in some way, somehow, right? You always know I do. Your physical health, if you're unable to manage your emotions, you are probably not managing your stress either. So this can lead to serious health problems. Uncontrolled stress raises blood pressure, suppress the immune system, increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes, contributes to infertility, and speeds up the aging process. The first step to improving emotional intelligence is to learn how to manage your stress. I think we all probably knew a little bit of that, how to, try to control your stress. Now, your mental health, which is the key part to me. Uncontrolled emotions and stress can also impact your mental health, making you vulnerable to anxiety and depression. If you are unable to understand, get comfortable with, or manage your emotions, you'll also struggle to form strong relationships. This in turn can leave you feeling lonely and isolated and further exacerbate any mental health problems. Now, your relationships, by understanding your emotions and how to control them, you're better able to express how you feel and understand how others are feeling. This allows you to communicate more effectively and forge stronger relationships both at work and in your personal life. Your social intelligence, being in tune with your emotions, serves a social purpose, connecting you to other people and the world around you. Social intelligence enables you to recognize friend from foe, measure another person's interest in you, reduce stress, balance your nervous system through your social communication, and feel loved and happy. So, basically, when it comes to being emotionally intelligent, it plays a huge part in your life because it's not just there for you as a person, it's there for you as a parent if you're a parent. It's there for you as a coworker, for a girlfriend or boyfriend or a husband or wife. Emotional intelligence kind of drives the day-to-day life for you because it shows you how to interact with others. It tries to give you an understanding of how they may feel, what they may be going through. You try to put yourself in other people's shoes instead of saying, hey, fuck it, it's all about me. Now, granted, I get it. Sometimes there's no option but to say, fuck it, it's all about me. I completely understand. I actually think I'm going through one of those moments myself where I feel like I'm in a selfish era right now. If it ain't about me, it don't fucking matter. Of course, besides my kids, which is a given, if it ain't about me, it don't fucking matter. You know what I mean? I'm only doing what I want to do and what makes me happy. You know, simple as that. And part of that is because I spent so much energy, so much trying to be there and talk and help other people, that I had to realize that it was taking a toll on me. It was bringing me down because I couldn't help everybody. Hey, my son thinks I'm Superman, but I don't think, even Superman hangs his cape up to dry sometimes. You know what I mean? He's got to wash it every once in a while. So even he needs a break. But I think a great thing that I love about myself is the fact that I always want to understand how someone else is feeling. I kind of want to get an idea of what they're going through. A lot of the times when people are talking to me or they're going through or venting, I like to bring up things that I went through, and it's not to like take over the conversation, but I'm trying to express to you, like, I kind of know how it feels. Like, hey, I've been through this before that's just like that, and this is how I felt. But I'm just trying to relate to you so that we can have a better foundation to speak from. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to tell you what I'm going through. No, I want you to understand that I heard you. I heard everything you said. And since I heard you talk, now I want to tell you what I went through that's relatable. So that way when we're having this conversation, you feel more prone to open up to me and speak freely rather than just sitting there and not speak at all because you don't think or know that I may possibly understand what's going on. So I tell people that all the time, like, please stop me if you feel like I'm doing too much, but I'm only telling you this because I want you to understand that I've been there before. Simple as that. And if I haven't been there before, I always say, hey, I can't really relate because I haven't been there, but I'm here for whatever support you need from me. So you tell me what kind of support you need, and I'll try to be that. But in order to relate to what you're going through, I cannot do it. I've got friends that have lost parents. I'm sorry that I cannot relate to you. I don't know what it's like to lose a parent. I cannot do it. But I have friends that have lost siblings. I can relate to you because I've lost a brother before. I can tell you how that feels. I can tell you what I went through and what was going through my head. You know what I mean? I can at least have some kind of relatable content to speak with you about. I may not be able to dig right into your shoes and become what you are and say what you were feeling and what you were going through when you lost a sibling, but I can tell you how it was when I lost one. So all in all, it's just more so about sometimes we have to take ourselves out of our shoes and put other people's shoes on. Sometimes we gotta kind of just look at what they're going through and try to be there for them. All of this just going back and forth trying to attack each other because somebody's expressing how they feel. Even if you recognize that they're trying to express it but they did it the wrong way, try to help them do it in a healthy way. Don't talk about them. I don't think that's fair. I think we all should be really trying to help each other out by lending a hand where we can instead of lending lending an opinion-based fact. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for, coming down, sitting down here listening with me again on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I apologize to you all that I was late today. I missed a little bit of the show, so some things I wasn't able to get through all the way, but I'm pretty sure I got a good idea where I was coming from. I was going to attack a few of y'all personally when it came to characteristics, but we didn't get there, and it's all good. We can save it for next week, if anything. Started off that way and go into a completely different topic 15 to 20 minutes after. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to follow me on all the socials. On Facebook, it's Mark Quan Thomas, or Quan Facebook Jail Thomas, or Choose Your Character. You can also find all of that on Instagram at Juss Quanni or Choose Your Character. Twitter is Juss Quanni, Quanni702, or Choose Your Character, right? TikTok is Juss Quanni23 or Juss Quanni. Either one of those works. And then we also have YouTube at Juss Quanni. JUSSQUANNI, Juss Quanni. Gotta remind y'all, because a lot of y'all go out there putting JUST and there's two S's, no T. You know what I mean? But I will catch y'all next week on the hottest radio station on the planet, which is Hot 702.5 FM. I'll catch y'all next Wednesday at 4 p.m. And don't forget, peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.